Hello, I'm on my way home because I had to go grocery shopping. I had to run some errands and grab all of this stuff for the pool. There's so much stuff I'm learning with this daggone thing that it's something. So I was having a conversation with my father about the guys that was murdered by a police officer. And like I said, I know family members that got murdered by the police officers. And it just seems like when one of these situations happen, it's a uproar, it's rioting, and then we're gonna prosecute the person, and then everyone settles down. The solution to the police department is that you got to get rid of them. And I know you say, Mona, what do you mean? We need new police officers, period. You can call it a different name, but you got to get rid of what's in there right now. And so hear me out before you be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, put it like this. You see a building, right, and you want to renovate it. What you going to do? You're going to change out the plumbing. You're going to gut the walls. You're going to do everything. That's what needs to happen. They need to go through training, and they need to know, like, your job is to protect and serve. And if you are found guilty hurting someone, murdering someone, you will be charged, and you will go to the very jail that you locked away criminals, and they will beat the brakes out of you. Like, they need to understand, like, you're not just going to be fired, but you are going to be tried and made an example. So pick and choose whether or not you want to be on whether or not you want to be a police officer. Because I know when I went out to be a police officer, I passed everything. I passed the physical. And the reason why I did not become a police officer is because they found something out that happened in my past with my sister. Years, I'm talking about in middle school. This was with my sister, and they decided not to make me a police officer. I personally have to be honest, I only went out to be a police officer because I, single mom, I needed the money. I was like, hey, I will be in a police vehicle. But I'm happy that God had another way for me, because I would have been snitching. I would have been like, hey, what's up, fellas? Like, why are we pulling them over? Come on, Sergeant. I can see them right now. Come on, Sergeant Hines. This is what we do. And I'm like, nah, man, we pulling them over because they black, man. I can't be doing. I would have been snitching left and right. They would have tried to, retaliate against the girls. So I honestly feel bad for police officers of color and those that are not of color but too afraid to speak up, because you're faced with corruption. Black races, and that thing ain't never went. Oh, we all do. No, you don't. When you walk in the daggone grocery store, you don't have to worry about people looking at you because of the color of your skin. I can understand that as a black woman. I've been called niggerette when I was young. People thought that I was a part of something just because I look like the person. Just be, all black people don't look alike. But I understand race. When I grew up in elementary school, they taught us about slavery and stuff. So it's amazing how this country say that they're not racist, but they clearly defined who you are. Now, I want you to pay attention to the news media. Every time a black man or a black woman was shot, the first thing they say is, a black man was shot today. But when a white woman or a white man or someone of some other color was shot, they'll say, a woman was shot today. They won't say black man. That when they mention black, they have to degrade or make it look like this wasn't a human, this was a black woman. I've noticed that, and I said, why are they doing that? Why do they have to say, a black woman today actually graduated from such and such? And then it's the same thing with it's the same thing with Black History. Every single year you get that little teeny month. We want to acknowledge you slaves. We didn't just come from slavery and all this other stuff. It's called American history. Black people built this country, period. It shouldn't be African American history. It's American history. But y'all want to cause a division. But let's go back to the police department. I can tell you what the solution is. Get rid of them all. New policies, new procedures. If I was the president of the United States of America, I want all of the chiefs. I don't care if you got 30,000 chiefs across the daggone United States, every last one of you fired. I want new ones. New policies, new procedures. We going, and anyone else too, I feel like people that served in the military, if they want, when they finish serving, to become police officers, then they should get first dibs on it. You served this country, you fought near someone who was black, near somebody who was Hispanic, Chinese, whatever you want to say it. But these police officers have a Ku Klux Klan mentality because that's where the root of it comes from. Now, we're not just going to talk about the man who said, I can't breathe, but let's talk about the sister that went down Texas, and she was a strong-headed sister, and they sat up there and lied and said that she hung herself. Please, she was in Texas, and you know Texas breathed the Ku Klux Klan. Let's talk about the man who got shot up multiple times in New York. These police officers, what did they get? A slap on their hands, a slap on their daggone hands, and oh, we'll just fire them or we'll just transfer them. Let's talk about the black man who was riding in the passenger seat and had a video of the cops planting drugs on the passenger side and said, it was on your side, so we're going to lock you up. See, this is the mentality of what you have bred, which means your system is not working. And it doesn't stop there. It's not just with the police, it's with the court system. If your hair looks like cotton, the color of cotton, you need to step down. Oh, Ramona, age got everything to do with it, because that's the mentality. You would think that these people will be dying off. You would think that these people will be long and gone, but evil likes to linger around, and it can jump to generation of a bunch of evil people who think I am better than you because I am white and you are black and you are a slave. Like, some people really honestly think that way. Get rid of them. Y'all sitting up here, I can't breathe. No, it should. We want new police. We want new police. We want new justice. You need a new justice system, baby, because majority of the black men, and I'm talking about, because that's the issue in this country. Majority of these guys that's in jail right now, man, they in jail for stuff they never even did. I had a dream, and I told y'all this about, 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago. And the dream was, there was 2 white attorneys, and they had paperwork like stacked all the way up. I saw that there were black young who were in jail, and guess what they were in jail for? Because they refused to be searched. It only took 1 sheet of paper to do a petition to let these guys out of jail, but because they didn't have this one petition, they had still been sitting in jail. And when I was going to do the petition in my dream, then the 2 white attorneys said, oh, we were going to do it. I'm like, no, you only going to do it because you see me doing it. You know how many black people are in jail right now, and they are sitting in jail right now waiting for freedom. I tell anybody, and I don't care what you want to say, especially with this system right here, stay away from the courts. I was up there and I saw it when I got dragged into court. There is no equality, especially when it comes to people of color. I'm talking about black, Hispanic, people of color. There's no equality in that court system, because that court system was designed to put you away. They get paid when you get locked up. You can't believe every single attorney. Don't get me wrong, you got good attorneys out here, but 90% of them aren't, which means 90% of the police force, they are not good. They're not good. They're trigger happy. They're messed over. That's why you like, what are you training me for? See, when that guy put his knee on neck, I want you to look at the way he had his hands in his pocket. Like, look at me, boys. It's like a fisherman catching a daggone shark and parading him upside down. Look at me, boys. Look at what I'm doing. I'm just, look at me. They've been doing that, though. That ain't nothing new. They're going to do it after if you don't get rid of the daggone police officers. These officers out here, new training needs to happen. I'm talking about not only do he need to be charged, but the rest of them boys that sat around there. So your job is to protect and serve. You didn't do your job either. You're the same. You're the same as somebody who's a part of committing murder. You were a part of it, even though you were the driver. All of them need to be charged. All of them need to be charged. The daggone judge who's been on the seat for the last 30 years, giving people 40, 50 years for stuff they didn't even do. What about the 4 boys? Was it 4 to 5 boys in New York back in the 80s? They got it on, I think, Netflix. But them boys were charged for like 30 daggone years of a murder they didn't even commit. Young. Them boys got raped in jail, had their lives taken away from them, and then all you said, oops, sorry, we'll give you $1 million. $1 million is not going to take back 28 years of your life that you served for a crime you never did. That's because there was no equality then, and there's no equality now. I Can't Breathe is not going to help nothing. It's called We Want a New Protection. The police got to go. Call them a new name. They gotta go. All the training, you need to gut it all the way out. Everything they would ever learn, you gotta have a new way. Because I don't know what racist sergeant was sitting up here teaching these folks this. Just like the one police officer yesterday I saw on Facebook. The lady said, I'm just afraid to let my hands off the wheel. And he said, go ahead and let your hands off. You'll be fine. She said, look, I've seen a lot of videos. He said, we only kill black people. It was on tape. And you know what the sergeant said, or whatever he is, I don't know what made him say that. You know what made him say that. You and the boys sit around, you smoke and you drink and say, we gonna get some niggas today. Let's keep it on. Let's keep it real. You know why he said that, because he knows. We need new police officers, period. And not just new police officers join in. Every single one of them that was under you need to be fired. You need new rules and regulations. You trying to become a police officer? Well, look at here, look at here. If anybody is found strangled, they're abused. You pulled them over and they got their license, registration, and everything checked out, and you got them on hold for more than 10 minutes, you will be right up. If they are found hurt, abused, dead because of your hand, 30 years off the break. Now, who wants to be a police officer? See, when you stop saying, it's okay, oh, you accidentally pulled the trigger, it's fine. I mean, we do these things all the time. And it doesn't matter because, they were black. That's what we need. Get rid of them. Judges, too. I remember walking up into a judge. I said, much time on his hand. He got hats all around in a daggone courtroom of what teams he's with, and I can see his hair. Man, this dude should have retired 30 years ago. He should have retired 30 years ago, but he's still there. Still believing he hate blacks, hate people of color, and he's still there. The rest of everybody else said, hey, you guys, no, it's not about that. It's really about this. Shut up. Shut up. What about, I don't even want to go there, especially when they sat up there and showed all of them daggone guys with them AKs and stuff screaming at the police. I said, oh my gosh, if you would have had black men and black women with them type of rifles, man, they would have got sniped down off the break. Don't tell me that the equality in this country is straight across the board, because it's not. You got to gut the system out, and that includes the court system too. Majority of these daggone attorneys out here corrupt. I know it's shoot. Y'all saw what I went through. They are corrupt. It ain't enough for you parading around. I can't breathe. And let me tell you what every last one of you need to go through new training. I don't even know how long I've been disconnected. But the whole system needs to be gutted out. The whole system needs to be gutted out. These people, I don't even understand. Like, the whole system needs to be gutted out. There are still people in jail to this day for things they did. And another thing that really got me back in the day when we used to smoke weed, them little teeny nick bags, dime bags and stuff like that, we used to hide our stash. I'm looking on TV, I'm seeing people, white people, and I have to call it for what it is, making pizza out of marijuana. And I said to myself, I never thought I'll see this day, but there's still people in jail for having a $20 bag of marijuana and they're still doing 20 years. Don't tell me that the equality is the same across the board, because it is not. It is not. See, it's not one guy, a white guy, he decided that he was going to go ahead and videotape a police officer pulling over these black men. The black police officer had the young black men in handcuffs sitting on the track. And the white guy said, I'm so nervous about this, but I just have to do something. I'm like, Dad, I see this all the time. Y'all just seeing this? Are you just paying attention to this? We appreciate you for taping, but y'all just seeing this? I see it all the time. That's the norm. And that's why we have to take what was normal to them to be unnormal. You can't do that no more. You're going to pay a fine. Number one, we're going to lock you up and take away your badge. You'll never be able to serve. Dishonorable discharge, all that good stuff. You got to gut it all the way out. Gut the whole building out. Get rid of the plumbing. I don't care if one side of the plumbing was doing well. We need new pipes. Get new pipes put up in there. I've seen police officers where I had a conversation. I'm talking to them and they look zooted, like something is mentally wrong with them. Because some of them do have a mentality like they feel like they are superior. They will shoot you down. Like that lady in Texas should have never got pulled over. And she would have never got killed if it wasn't for racism and killers that were in Texas. She got murdered. The coroner can say, oh, well, we found this and found that. Oh, I don't want to hear that. She got murdered. That's another thing, too. I don't care if the person had a heart attack while you had him in a chokehold. They would have never had the heart attack if it wasn't for you putting him in a chokehold. So I'm charging you with murder. I don't need a coroner to tell me that when I could clearly see you on film shooting him down. I shot him up, but he really died because of a brain aneurysm. Oh, you think the bullet to the head didn't do anything? Come on, y'all. Get rid of him. We want a new system. We want a new system. Get rid of the police. Get rid of every single one of them. Get rid of them. I don't care. And what I mean by that is you got to rebuild it. Rules, regulations. This cannot happen. You cannot put excessive force on someone who's not doing anything. See, once you already put them in handcuffs, what can you do? They're not going nowhere, having to sit down. If their license and registration is adding up, and all of this stuff is good and they're not running away, why are you even putting excessive force? There's 5 of y'all and one of them. Because you have to use this person as an example. Because you feel like you're more superior than they are. You think that they're a daggone dog and say, look, you guys, look how I'm roughing up this. You need to be put in jail. And the rest of y'all that sat around and did nothing, every last one of y'all need to go to jail too. Not just walk away. You need to go to jail too. Because you were accomplice with this. You didn't care. You didn't say, hey, get off his neck, get off his neck. You didn't push him off. Now, if I was a police officer, which I try to become one, and somebody was going through that, get off of him. Now, it's same thing with the lady in Texas. What's her name, Sandra? It was a woman police officer who helped take her in, but you didn't see her all the way through it. I would have been like, man, let her go. But see, police officers not even speaking up when you see other police officers doing wrong. You need to be locked up and go to jail too. Your job is to protect and serve. If you're serving your own evil appetite by killing innocent people and you don't care, we don't want you on the squad and we want you in jail because you are a murderer and you use the system to do that. You use your position to do just that. Get rid of them. That's what's going to help everything out. Not, I can't breathe. Black Lives Matter. It's called get rid of the police. Get rid of them. We want new police. We want a new protection in this country. That's going to serve the people. and serve the law, because nobody is above the law, not even the judge, not even the president, not even the police, not even the sergeant, not the KKK, not racist people. You're not above the law. Get rid of them. We would have had that conversation right now. If we would have had, President of the United States, I want every single sergeant, commander in chief that's in charge of the police department, every single state, 50 plus one in my office right now. We would have had that on tape. I want to know numbers. How many people you done pulled over a color? How many got locked up? How many have license, registration, everything checked out? Get rid of them now. New rules, new regulations. I can't breathe. Get rid of it. Don't sit there and say, well, you know, I'm not trying to hear that, especially for someone who lives in suburbia and you don't see your family members. Like, I never forget that funeral. I cried like crazy. You know how he got killed? Because he couldn't breathe, because the police attacked him and handcuffed him. And to this day, in District Heights, Maryland, he never got justice. Never got justice. See, this is something that most black people have to be faced with. Oh, when the police say, oh, I accidentally shot him. Oh, you did? Okay, all right, no problem. We'll just write it down and everything will be fine. No. You didn't want me to be a police officer because you said, oh, we see something happen back in middle school. But you let these psychos become police officers? You let these psychos become police officers? Secretly underneath their daggone bulletproof vests, you can see the KKK signs. You can see that, the swastika, you can see all of that. You let them become police officers? Get rid of the sergeants. Get rid of the commanders in chief. Like the guy said, I have no idea why the police officer would say such a thing. You know why he said that. You know why he said that. We don't kill white people. We kill black people. This is what he said out of his mouth, because that's something you're training. That's someone you've been breeding. You've been breeding those type of people. You've been breeding those type of people. Man goes and serves his country in the military, holding weapons that police officers never even held before. Served this country and came home and got shot up because of the color of his skin. This ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new, which means we got to get rid of the daggone mentality out here. With people you really think, I don't know. You want to be a police officer? Okay, let me tell you what's going to take to be a police officer. You to protect and serve. If we find out you out here pulling people over because of the color of their skin, I don't care if their daggone pants was hanging all the way down to their daggone ankles and they got braids all the way down to their tail crack. If you pulling them over for a crime that was not committed, you going to be the one committing the crime and you going to be the one going to jail, and we don't care. Even if you're going to be around the majority of the people that you locked up. You still want to be a cop? But instead, you went ahead and gave him a polygraph test. Some of these people are so psycho, they can polygraph. Oh, I can pass that. And when I was trying to become one, oh, we see something happen back in middle school. I guess you should have you ever did this? Why are you asking all of these crazy questions when you already put psychos up in there behind police? I mean, unsolved mysteries. I remember when I used to look at them shows, man. Come to find out, a police officer was the one out there doing all of the murdering. These people are, you got to literally be out your mind and think that, okay, so what do you think is going to happen? If I was the president advisory, you need to have a talk with every single captain or whatever you want to call it across the state. New rules and regulations. And I don't care how long they've been on the force. If they've been, and let each one of those police officers know, you see your fellow police officer doing something and he ain't supposed to, you better snitch on him, because if you don't, both of y'all going down, and both of y'all gonna get locked up. We not just gonna fire you, we gonna lock you up. Period. Problem solved. As far as the judges, if you've been on that bench for over 30 daggone years, it's time for you to step down. It's time for you to step down. But Ramona, age shouldn't be, sometimes, unfortunately, it's just like, when you see an old school car, when them old school 1957, you don't see it all the time riding on the highway. You know why? Because that car is an older car, so they put it in retirement. Some of y'all need to retire because you still have that old KKK, Mississippi down south mentality, and you teaching it to other people. Get down, step down. Just like the daggone governor or whoever the heck, I think he was, matter of fact, I think he was the district attorney of VA. Was that the one that was found with the black face? He should have been stepped down. And his wife, no, he's not going to step down. You and him, you need to shut up and he need to step down. Your credentials are gone and shot. Everybody got to have a resume when they apply for a job, right? We just saw what your resume used to be. You thought it was funny back then, and that picture paraded around. You need to step down. But that's not how it, okay, we need somebody else that understands. It ain't just going around screaming Black Lives Matter. It's going around, we want a new protective system. We want a new protective entity, because the police is just not doing it. You can call the police if you want to, but we need to gut it all out. I wish I was the commander in chief. This is what we gonna do. If you pull someone over and it's more than 10 minutes, their license and registration passed out good, but you decided they look suspicious. There's too many of you black people in this car. Get out of the car, please. I'm going to handcuff you. Sit right there on the curb. No, oh man, if I was, you did what? But see, this lets you know how racism exists. When the two police officers pulled the car over and had no idea that, I don't know if she was the district of attorney. And she said, what did you pull me over for? Oh, we thought that you were, oh, sorry, man. No, what did you pull me over for? And she asked for both of their badge numbers. But see, this is what's been going on. You got a majority of people that see it, and a majority of people, you got a majority of people that see it and they don't care. They want to ignore it. That's racism for you. Please. Well, Ramona, all people with this, let's go to the statistics. Let's do the count real quick. How many black people got shot up by the police on accident? How many white people do got shot up by the police on accident? Don't tell me it's straight across the board. You need to gut the whole daggone thing out. And I don't care who been on the force. All of y'all going back to the ABCs. And some of y'all gonna be like, I can't believe this. You're telling us that we can't pull over. That's it. Oh, you want to talk back? You're fired. Next. Should have been happened years ago. All of these daggone people, too many of them. When you go before a judge, when you put in a petition, the petition means you're going before a judge. You're pleading your case and starting your case before the judge. The motions start to come in after the petition. You know how many people in jail because they don't even have a chance to go before the judge. They got locked up because of the color of their skin, and they're still in jail right now. Don't tell me that the system is so equality and racism doesn't exist in this country. Oh, no, not like that. Shut up. Shut all the way up. And I'm going to tell you something, too. As a Christian, all you racist people who think you better than somebody because of the color of your skin, you're going to be burning in jail. You like to wear them sheets and parade around. That's okay, because when you die and go to hell, there's going to be bigger demons that ain't going to have no sheets on, murdering you for eternity. Because what you're trying to say is that God made a mistake when he made black people or Latino people or other people of different colors. Or you have people who are racist against white people. You're trying to say God made a mistake. God ain't, come on now, he didn't make a mistake of who he created. And when you sit up here and try to create around your hate of the devil, you're not of God. And you're going to go to hell for that and burn. So if I was you, wherever you at right now, you need to repent of your sins. Ask God for forgiveness because of your filthy, dirty, racist heart. Because ain't no way in hell, there's no way in heck that you're going to heaven with a racist mentality. And some of these folks, you would think that these people dying off. But they're teaching their children to teach their children. You would think these people could be dead and gone. No, they still around. Still want to be the judge. You know. Still, can't like them people and like those judges that's supposed to be in the Supreme Court. One of them looks so daggone old. I'm like, can she even speak anymore? She needs to retire. Selfish, man. Selfish. That's the first thing I would have did. The president, that's the very first thing I would have did. Oh, yeah? I want to have a talk with every single police chief in every single state. New rules and regulations. Police will be changed. The name police will be changed to something else. I can see them like, I can't believe what they're doing to our force. Let them know. You ain't going to go, if you get found shooting somebody innocently, killing somebody, putting them in a chokehold, you ain't going to no police jail. You going to regular jail. Because we didn't train you to go out here and kill citizens that pay taxes. That's what I would have did. Anyway, I'm Ramona Hines, and I approve this message. Y'all have a blessed day. Just pray for this country.